The Trail of Tears. In 1785, the Treaty of Hopewell was the first treaty signed by the U.S. government and the Cherokee. It acknowledged that the Cherokee and the U.S. had boundaries and that the U.S. would protect the Cherokee from whites trying to take their land. Surrounding tribes in the southeast United States signed similar treaties. This treaty was broken by the United States, as were all subsequent treaties. In the early 1800s, American settlers began to pressure the federal government to remove Indians from the southeast. Many settlers were already encroaching on Indian lands. Others wanted more land made available to European settlers. In 1830, President Andrew Jackson signed into law the Indian Removal Act, giving him authority to remove the Native Americans in the southeast United States to lands west of the Mississippi. With this act in place, President Jackson was able to threaten and force tribes into signing treaties, giving their land away forever. The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. In 1831, the Choctaw tribe of Mississippi signed the first treaty, and the removal began. In some cases, treaties were fraudulently signed, giving up Indian lands by a small group of people that neither represented the tribe nor had any authority to do so. One such treaty is the Treaty of Echota. This treaty gave the Cherokee 2 years to vacate their homelands in exchange for money. Attempts to nullify the fraudulent treaty were unsuccessful. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 63. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. The Chickasaw, Choctaw, Muskogee Creek, Seminole, and Cherokee people, also known as the 5 civilized tribes, were removed at gunpoint, many in shackles and chains, and forced to walk the 800 to 1,000 miles on one of the 4 trails that led to Indian Territory or modern-day Oklahoma. En route, many of the people died of cold, hunger, exhaustion, disease, and murder by the hands of soldiers. The Cherokee people called this journey the Trail of Tears because it's estimated that up to a third that made the journey died in the devastating effects of being ripped from off the land and their way of life. The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. The book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. Although the forced removal and the Trail of Tears was and remained one of the most horrific acts of ethnic cleansing and attempted genocide in American history, the tribes continued to grow and prosper. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 6. Let Reuben live and not die. and let not his men be few,